Alright, so back to the first guitar again for this next part. You basically just give a good amount of time, so then that cool drum fill kind of could play out. And both guitars do that. But this part comes in just after that drum fill. And what you play is the 9th fret, still that power chord thing. And you play that a few times. Strumming formation or strumming pattern is above again. And then you go down to the 7th fret, play that a couple of times, and then go up to the 12th fret. So that's... And then you go all the way down to the 2nd fret, right here. Then the 4th fret, then the 5th, and then back up to the 12th. And those 4, like, actually strummed out all the way. It's... So I'll go ahead and play that part real quick. I'll go ahead and do it slowly. Then you kind of do the same thing. You play those first 2 chords. Except you play that one only once. And then you kind of, I think both guitars might do this. It might just be one. But if it is just one, I don't know which one does it. So I just kind of do on both. Because it adds in a bit more fun to it, I guess. But you just kind of do a dead note across all the strings. You don't want to have it actually ring out with a harmonic, but you do that. And then you play the 12th fret. So that same chord, just once though. So that's... And then you do the 2nd, 4th, 5th, and 12th again. Same thing. And you repeat that entire part, except when you get to the final measure of it, instead of continuing with the 7th, or after the 7th, I guess, you just keep playing that 7th, so I kind of explained that poorly, but how it goes is... And then you play them all open, the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings. So that's... So for the second guitar, it's basically doing the same thing as the first guitar, as far as strumming patterns go. It's strumming chords, and it does them at the same time. Except it only has 4, so I'm just gonna reference them to whatever the index finger is at. As far as like which fret the index finger is on. So the first one it does, it's 5th fret on the 5th string. This is actually a power chord. So 5th fret on the 5th string, 7th fret on the 4th string, and 7th on the 3rd string. And then the next one it does is at the 4th fret of the 4th string, or the 5th string, sorry. 7th on the 4th string, and 6th on the 3rd. Now I kind of call this formation like a minor power chord formation, kind of. I'm not sure what the actual name of it is, but they're kind of everywhere. So they're like almost as common as power chords, so they gotta be called something probably. But yeah, so that's what I'll call them. And then the next one that shows up is that minor chord, or minor power chord formation on the 9th fret, which is 9th on the 5th string, 12th on the 4th string, and 11th on the 3rd string. And then the final chord is just power chord on the 2nd string, or the 7th fret of the 5th string. So 2nd on the 5th string, 4th on the 4th string, and 4th on the 3rd string. So basically that first one I'll just say 5th, and then the second one will be 4th because index on the 4th. Then that next one is 9th, and then 2nd. Just to make this explanation a bit easier. So what you do is you do the one on the 5th fret for a bit, and then you do the 4th fret, and then you do the 9th fret one. And then you go down to the 2nd one, and then the 4th one, and then the 5th one, and then the 9th. And then you do the 5th again, and then you play the 4th just once. And then here's where you do that that kind of dead note thing that the first guitar does. And then you play the 9th chord once. And then you do the 2nd fret one again. And then the 4th. And then the 5th. And then the 9th again. And then you repeat that, and it's basically the exact same thing as the first guitar, as far as when the repetition changes. You just do that first chord, or the one on the 5th fret, I should say. And then the one on the 4th, and you just downstrum that a few times. And right here, I don't actually play anything, because the first guitar, it just plays those, the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings open. But the first guitar might do that as well, or it could add in the 2nd on the 3rd string. I'm not sure what it actually does there, but you could add in something that sounds right. I usually just don't do anything right there though. So for this next part, I usually just drop the first guitar, and I just call it the 2nd guitar because it seems like that it might be the 2nd guitar doing most of this stuff. But I'm really not sure. It could be the first guitar playing it, it could be the 2nd, it could be both kind of changing every now and then. But I usually just kind of lump it all with one guitar. But what you do is you play the 6th fret on the 3rd string, and then you slide that up to the 11th fret on the 3rd string still, and then the 7th fret. So, and then you play the 12th, and then the 14th. So that's. And then you do the same thing, except when you slide down to the 7th, you add in, I think you add in the 3rd on the 2nd string, and then you play the 7th again. And I'm not sure about it because they're the same note, but it kind of sounds slightly off in the song, so he might be playing the same note on a different string. He could be playing the same note up here, but I'm not sure. And this is kind of a lot of a stretch, so you could just play the 7th fret. The 7th fret, I can't talk today. You could just play that a couple more times. But anyway, that part is. And then right here, it changes a lot. You play the 5th on the. This stuff, it's all 2nd string stuff. 5th fret. And you do some tremolo picking, kind of slower compared to the last tremolo picking I was talking about. Just like. And then up to the 7th. And then up to the 8th. And then up to the 10th. Then the 12th. And then the 14th. So that's. And then you repeat that, and then you repeat it again, except you add in this 3rd string stuff to it. And I'll go ahead and explain that. It's when you're playing the 5th fret on the 2nd string, you're playing the 6th fret on the 3rd string. When you're playing the 7th fret on the 2nd string, you're playing the 7th on the 3rd string. When you're playing the 8th on the 2nd string, you're playing the 9th of the 3rd string. When you're playing the 10th, you're playing the 11th on the 3rd string. When you're playing the 12th, you're playing the 12th on the 3rd string again. and then when you're playing the 14th, you're playing the 14th on the 3rd string. And you're tremeloing both of those strings at this point. So I'll go ahead and play that for you. And you repeat that, except as soon as you get to the 12th frets, you start going down in that same order. Like you do the 12th, and then you do the 11th and 10th, then the 9th and 8th, and then the 2 7ths, and then the 6th and the 5th, and then you just add in 2 more after that. You add in the 4th on the 3rd string, and the 3rd on the 2nd string. And then you add in the 2nd on the 3rd string and 2nd on the 2nd string. And all of these are still being tremeloed. So I'll go ahead and play that whole part with the, I'll go ahead and play the part with only the 2nd string, and also add in the 3rd string. And I'll do that slowly for you guys real quick. I should have also mentioned that you play that last one just once, and you just let it ring out. So now I'll go ahead and play that up to speed with everything in it. And for the final, like, I guess, 2 seconds of the song, what you do is, this might be where the second or the first guitar comes back in, if it hasn't played anything since when I was talking about it. But it plays the, that power chord thing, the everything, the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings, all the same fret. It does it on the 9th a few times. And then it goes on to the 7th. And I just keep on playing that as the second guitar because there's nothing playing on top of that at the moment. And what I do is I usually just bar this, like all the strings for this last part. And what you do is you play the 3rd string, 7th fret, everything's on the 7th fret. So 3rd string. Then the 4th string, give it a second, and then the 7th fret on the 2nd string, and 7th fret on the 3rd string. So, and then you play an open 6th, 5th, and 4th strings. So that little chunk of guitar slowly is... And now up to speed, even though it's probably unnecessary right now. So that was the end of Festival Beanie. If you've liked what you've seen, you could give myself a like on any of these videos. If you want to give me a heads up on something that I might have gotten wrong, or if you want to give me a suggestion on a new song to do, you could do both of those things in the comments below. If you want to check out more of my stuff, you could go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I've got a decent amount of videos at this point, so kind of growing right now. But yeah, anyway, with that, I'll see you next time.